whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Schools with Heart. I'm Olivia LaField, a 48-year public school veteran, and today I am so excited to teach you a simple do-it-yourself method for creating SEL posters for the classroom of your dreams. I'm assuming that you tuned in today because you want to know more about social emotional learning and how to integrate it into your curriculum. And I'm hoping that you've watched all of my previous videos and bought my books, because you're not just casually looking into SEL, you're completely sold on learning everything you can about it so you can create the classroom of your dreams. People are often shocked when I tell them that I'm still in the classroom. But honestly, I can't imagine a day when I'm not still actively working with the kids. I guess you could say, and it would be true, that it's in my blood. I believe with all my heart that I was born on this earth to be a teacher, and during the decade of my 70s, I will do more than work with the kids. I will mentor, support, and encourage many thousands of teachers across this great land so that they too will experience, as I have, the transcendent joy of helping their students strive for greatness and reach their full potential socially, emotionally, morally, and academically. Many teachers in America today are deeply discouraged with daunting conditions that assault them daily. Many are quitting to pursue alternative, less stressful vocations. I am devoting the rest of my life to uplifting those discouraged teachers. I'm here with solutions. I'm here with hope. But this is not a journey for the faint-hearted. Your commitment to creating the SEL classroom of your dreams will take indomitable, unstoppable grit. We teach our students that grit is the ability to passionately pursue a goal for an extended period of time, despite adversity and failure. They memorize that definition beginning in 2nd grade. The way I see it is, how much do you love children? The depth of your love, your commitment to your students will determine how far you will go and how hard you will work to create that SEL classroom of your dreams. With that said, let's dive into today's focus. I'm going to show you a step-by-step how to create a fabulous SEL poster, and I've made it as easy as it gets. If you can use a pair of scissors and color inside the lines, you can make great SEL posters for your classroom. I've done the rest of the work for you. As they say in Mexico, aquí vamos, here we go. Okay, so let's start with the end in mind. What we're going to end up making today is this poster right here, and in our next video I'm actually going to explain this poster. This is all about how to create a positive classroom environment, and it really changed our school. So it's a pretty big poster, and this is where we're going to start. I actually have created a book. It's my 3rd book, and it's going to have 28 of these posters in here. Most of the ones you saw in the last episode and more. And so let's just start by showing you what one of the pages in that book is going to look like. You can see right here that this is the same poster, but it's just an 8.5 by 11 standard piece of printer paper, and there'll be 29 of those that you can enlarge to whatever size you want. And I have made it really big, and I made it really big for all of our teachers in our school because it's so important. And the more important the posters are, the bigger I make them so that they really stand out. But it's up to you. You could make this poster, twice the size here, or you can make it even bigger than this one. You can make it huge. You just tell them at Kinko's. This one is an 18 by 36, I believe. 18 inches across by 36 inches down, could be 32. And I haven't given you in the book, my book 3, I didn't tell you what size to make it, so you have to at Kinko's. At Kinko's, I kind of just say, I want it this big and this wide, and they kind of figure that out for me. So, so we start with this, and you'll have to take this to Kinko's, take how many you have decided that you want to make, and they're not expensive to enlarge. This costs about $3 to enlarge, well, depending on the size, of course. But so you end up with an enlargement that looks like this. Okay, so super big, and I wanted to show you, I cut off the edges. This is the edge, one of these edges from this, because as you can see on this one, there's a lot of white around the border, and that's wasted space. I don't like that white. So there always seems to be a little bit of white that I cut off, and the next thing you do is, well, before the next thing, you have to buy some things. So one of the things you have to buy is Tacky Spray. I can't even tell you how many years it took me to find this. I used to use double-sided tape to make these stick. I tried everything, and then I found Tacky Spray. The purple container, you have to get this one. It's the best. Take my word for it. And then 2 types of markers. I use Sharpies. Yes, I use Sharpies sometimes, but I have found through experimenting that there are markers online that I like a lot better than Sharpies. And so I do a lot of posters with people so that you have, you know, skin. You have to color the skin. So these are all different, you know, skin colors. Martin Luther King takes the brown one, you know, some take the lighter ones, etc. And I bought several of these. This is the brand I like the best. Can you see that? That's the brand you want. And they're just awesome. You just decide which ones you want, but you definitely need skin tone markers. They last a very long time. So you probably only need 1 packet of those. And then I found my favorite colored markers are Cali Art. And there's so many brands online. And some of them, they just make streaks. They're just not as good as others. And these are just wonderful. The only problem with them is that, like on the red, I use the red up because I use so much red, and then now I don't have a red in this brand. So I use red Sharpie. You know, just use what you have. Okay, and so you have to have those first. And then what I do is I take this outside because this spray is pretty powerful smell. You know, the smell, if you don't do this inside, you need to leave it outside for a little while. And I just put it on the grass. I turn it upside down, not on wet grass. My grass is wet so much, but make sure the grass is dry. And then you spray, and you make sure you get the corners and the edges really good. And don't make it too close, don't spray too close to it, because it will make blotches that will go through the poster and they never disappear. And so it's kind of like spray paint. You just go, but spray paint you can do 2 or 3 coats, you know. This is 1 coat. If it starts to like hiss and spew, then stop for a second and have a little cloth ready and just clean out the tip and go back to spraying and get every single place on it, Take your time and get every place. It doesn't dry instantly. And have your, so pretend like you've got your glue on there, and in my kitchen on the floor, ready to go, is poster board, black poster board, all ready to go, nice and flat. Now notice this poster board is much longer than a standard piece of poster board, because this poster is so much longer. And so sometimes, depending on the size of the poster, I have to have 2 pieces of black poster, and I cut it to size, you know, and just tape it on the back. Works great. So it's on the floor, ready to go, and I come in holding the poster all glued on the back, and you just gently put it down onto the black paper and start in the center and press out. Now, I had to learn the hard way that you really have to keep pressing and keep pressing and keep pressing, because it takes a little while for it to dry. And if you get a little bubble in it, just press the bubble out. With practice, you'll get better and better at this. Then if you find that some of the corners didn't stick well, I use a glue stick for that. I don't try to spray the borders on. And sometimes I just staple it. Okay, and so now let's go back to the picture, and you can see that I left about almost an inch of the black border around it. And what I'll usually do now, and we're going to stop this, I want to show you another poster for a second, in just a second. Oh, we'll use this one. Yeah, we'll use this one, our little girl that we love so much. Notice that I have magnets on the back of her. Now that's a really good, I'm so glad to show you this, because you'll want to put these on your whiteboard, your smartboard, from time to time, and the smaller ones are just awesome, and they'll just go up there just like that. Isn't that awesome? I love that. And so she has the black edge. I always put them on the black poster board first, always, absolutely every single time. And then I wanted more color. I wanted to pick up the colors in her dress, and so I chose red, because red is such a good color. I use all primary colors. And then I put her on purple. Those two go so well together, like there's her dress, it goes so well together. And you can do that on every single one of your posters. You can put them on another piece of colored poster board to make it stand out. Let's stop and I'll get another one to show you. Jeff, can you hand me that one right there? Right on top, we'll show you the little red hen, which I showed you the other day. Thank you. The camera light went off. I'm not sure if that was supposed to go off. So you can see on the little red hen, I made the black border smaller, more narrow, and I put her on just one piece of red poster board, red for the little red hen. Okay, now let's talk about fonts. You can see that I use really nice big fonts, and this picture is exactly in the book, just like this. You're going to get this in the book. You can make this twice this big if you want, or smaller. Keep that in mind now. As you decide which posters you want for your classroom, you have to decide how much wall space you have. And I'll tell you what, in every classroom where I've ever gone, I see things on the wall that are useless, that should be taken down, because it's precious wall space that could have an SEL poster there. So I've had to encourage teachers for years, you need to take that poster down and put this poster up, and so don't hesitate to do that. There are certain posters you might have to have up, because your administration requires it. But other than that, we really have basically all SEL posters up in our classroom. You walk our classrooms, you walk in each classroom, and it's posters everywhere. And so you decide what wall space will be your Skills of Independence poster, which if you've bought my book, you've read about it. I'm going to be talking about that really soon, but it needs to be huge. And so plan. Before you put these posters up, you should read my books. You should read my books so that you can know what's most important, what posters absolutely need to go on your wall, so that you can be pointing to them all the time and always talking about, you can point to the little red hen and there she is, who's the little red hen today, and et cetera, et cetera. So let's see. Oh, clip art. I wanted to talk about clip art today. Let's talk about our little girl. Okay, so she is clip art, and I've hired an artist who I gave him a picture of this, and I said, I love this little girl, and I want you to draw her as close to her as possible and make it legal. So when you get your book, it will not be this little girl. However, if you don't want the picture of the one that the artist made for me, you can cut it out. Oh my gosh, you can totally do this. You can cut it out of the picture, pretend like the little girl is right here. You can cut her out, and then you put another piece of white paper in back of it so that you have a blank space, and then you go to clip art, happy girl, black and white. And you may have to kind of look around. Well, you will have to till you find her. And then she can go on your wall. I just can't sell her. I can't have her in a book to sell to you, or I would be legally in trouble for that. But if you, on this book that you're going to buy from me, any of the pictures, if you don't like them and you want a different clip art picture, just go to clip art and find it and cut mine out and put yours in and enlarge it to the right size, and you'll have your own poster. So if you want your little red hen to be much bigger and you don't want this cake, well, that's easy. You just cut the cake out and cut the font out, and this is going to be a cut and paste thing. And then you go online, and you're not going to have any trouble finding her. You just Google chickens or hens, clip art, black and white, and she's right there. She's the best one because she kind of has a smile on her face, and the other ones are just actually pretty ugly chickens, but you want her. She's great. So then you would just enlarge her, and you can do that at Kinko's. You know how to enlarge, make her much bigger, and there you go. So they're basically, you can recreate these posters however you want, but I've got them. If you don't want to recreate anything, boy, I've got it ready for you, ready to go with 29 posters. And I'm so excited about that I finally figured out how to get posters to you teachers, because these are so important. You have to have social emotional posters on your walls and be able to refer to them and the kids just sit there and look at those posters. They just look at the walls and it soaks in, and it's a subconscious thing. It gets into them. The more they see the poster and read the words, the more the SEL concept gets into their conscious awareness, and the more you can talk about it. Who's going to be the little red hen today? I am, Miss LaField. And at the end of the day, it's like, so-and-so is the little red hen today because she did this, that, or the other. And it's always about someone who worked hard, so they get the cake. And maybe you have a reward, a reward system, and you give them a prize, which is the cake. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun sharing. I'm pretty excited about a whole lot of things in life, as you could probably tell. But this is just one of them, with social emotional learning that has really transformed our entire curriculum. It's just essential. It's like it engulfs and encompasses all the SEL concepts all around you all day long. It keeps you immersed in social emotional learning from the first bell to the last. So thank you so much. Be sure and like and subscribe if you haven't. Leave comments. And when you get your posters up I send pictures to lovewalk@outlook.com. I want to see your classrooms. I'm so excited about that. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.